Today we're talking about the second season of the Netflix series Ragnarok, so let's talk about if it's worth your time. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Justin. I love to watch movies. I also love to watch Netflix. If you guys do too, you guys are in the right spot. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up-and-coming content. In the second season, the conflict gets tougher, evil gets more focused, and the choices ever more desperate. In the midst of all this, Magna is faced with the fundamental question: how far are you willing to go in order to save your family? I was a bit frustrated with the first season of Ragnarok only being 6 episodes. I never felt like it reached the heights of what the series could be. I never felt like there was a sense of urgency and not much exciting things going on for the characters, and a kind of wasted potential for a character that was an embodiment of Thor. So going into the second season, I had a little more hopes that we could grow the character and grow all of these myths and the family surrounding this Norwegian town. And we did get a little more of that for Ragnarok Season 2. There is still a lot of things that are a bit frustrating with this series, but overall, second season is a huge improvement over the first season for me. I didn't review the first season when it came out, so I'm not sure what people's thoughts were when the first season did come out. So I'm curious, what did you guys think of the first season? The second season immediately picks up after the first season, where we had Magna and Vidar fight, and all electricity was coming down onto Magna, and that's where we saw him kind of transform a little more into the embodiment of Thor. And so the second season does a lot more with the family, with Vidar as the head, with Saxa, his daughter, and his wife Ran, and his son as well. There's a lot of conflict within that family, and we see kind of in the middle of the first season that their son wants to live a life as a human with his girlfriend, and there's a lot of struggle within them. We see that move forward, and is one of the highlights of the series for me. The amount of effort they went into the other side of the family, when this family are giants and they have this company that's polluting this small town, and there's a lot of people against them, including Magna. So there's a lot of people against them, and you wouldn't expect that the family would be separated amongst all of this, but the son is choosing a different side, and there's a lot of strong, more personal moments between him and his girlfriend that make him stand out from the family as one of the stronger characters in the series. The series also gives a lot more development for Magna's brother, Lauritz, and there is some interesting storylines surrounding this character. There's some posters going around where they are standing there and we see the shadow of them, but it's also the shadow of the characters that they're supposed to be an embodiment of. And we see Lauritz and his shadow is Loki. And he's very curious about Loki within this series. And so if you know the story of Loki and Thor, you can kind of get an idea of what may happen to Lauritz in this series and the conflict between him and his brother. And something that I was expecting from early on with the second season, a little bit towards the end of the first season, but I really like what they did because it challenges this story. What will you do to protect your family? And Magna is challenged with a lot, with his friends and his own family, and what will he do to protect his brother? And then Lauritz, on the other hand, knows that he's had his brother Magna, but also there are some new things in his life that I don't want to spoil. But some things I didn't see coming, and I think it was a nice approach to the characters and the story to kind of twist things around and kind of throw in this wrench to it to really shift up the story. Now, yes, some of the characters are pretty interesting, and there's a lot of development going on for these characters, and the family has challenged Magna to a battle. But I still don't get the sense that there is a lot at stake. I didn't feel that within the first season. Maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it as much. But the second season, I still do not feel like there's this sense of urgency or threat, or there's a lot at stake. Yes, there's a lot of them fighting, some smaller fights, some big fights, people are trying to kill each other, but I just do not get that sense. Maybe it's the limited amounts of Magna acting as Thor, or maybe it's some of the smaller action scenes. But really early on, with the first couple of episodes, I just felt like it was more of a growth for the characters rather than growing the conflict between the family that has this company that's polluting and Magna and his brother. I feel like it was just more of, let's grow these characters, let's have some conflict between a couple of these characters, and they forgot a lot about the overarching conflict between the family and Magna. And we're told that it's supposed to be very urgent, but there's a lot of downtime and a lot of moments where they kind of just see each other in the streets and they really don't act on anything. At times, they'll try to chase each other or hunt each other down, but sometimes they're just like there, and I know they're trying to hide of who they really are, but it kind of takes away from those moments that could be thrilling or exciting and have that sense of urgency and a lot at stake, but it kind of just wipes some moments away that really could work for the series. I do think Ragnarok Season 2 is a lot better than the first season, but it's still not a series that I'm absolutely hooked on. For me, it's not a series that I would want to binge again. I think that there's a lot of potential for some of these characters to make it really enjoyable, and a potential for the story too to be really thrilling and really develop the story and the conflict between the family and this young boy who's the embodiment of Thor. But they take some different routes, some good routes, and some routes that I felt are a little bit weaker. But I think that it is a huge improvement, not only in the storyline and the characters, but also the visuals are good as well. There's a lot more of moments like Thor with the lightning that I think are visually stunning, and a lot of the over shots of the town give it really that smaller scope for this story. If you like the first season, I think that you'll probably like the second season and what they do with some of the characters. If you found the first season to be a little bit frustrating like me, you might find some things that you may enjoy with the second season. I'm going to go ahead and give Ragnarok Season 2 a B-. Thank you guys for checking my review for Ragnarok Season 2. Have you guys seen it by chance? What do you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought of the series. And stay tuned for more up and coming content. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.